Let me at him!
Well, there it is. Hello there, and welcome to a map review. This one is going to be of a map called Lost Ghosts, sent in by Johan Kultur. And he says in his email, "Hello Witty, here is a 1 versus 1 map. I haven't tried it yet, but you could perhaps play it with Sexy Time or others. I think it will be kind of hard to play, especially when you think about an expand. Neutral buildings, there's 2 taverns, there's 2 shops, no laboratory, 1 expand for each player, 1 fountain of health, 2 mercs, and don't look at the map before playing it." Well, I'm going to look at it because I already bloody well have, and we're going to do our map review. Hope you will be lucky, killing the big guys. It's okay if you don't put it on YouTube, your fight on this map, because it's not a 4 versus 4, so I would understand. That's okay though, I probably will still do it. And he says also for the 1 versus 1 map, the middle creep camp is dropping every single item, and I think I might have made too many strong creeps and not enough green camps. You think? We're going to have a look in a second and find out just how true that is. So let's scroll out. I'm going to try and do these map reviews a little bit quicker in general so we can crack on. Maybe make it a little bit shorter, like pocket size, a bit more sort of like fun and on the go. So, 2 players. Let's see if there's a description other than the one that was received in the email. Ah, Inks the Dark, yes. Well, sorry mate. Let's get in you got a better version. Well, I'm reviewing this version and then maybe we'll play the other version. This is always the issue I have with these map reviews, is people are consistently sending me new versions after the ones that they've already sent me. So I have to keep consistently updating what I've got already. It makes it really hard to track, so make sure that you're very, very comfortable with your map before sending it in, because if you send me in like a new version that's got 6 more trees in it, I'm not going to be fucking happy. So, here we have 2 players. Player 1 starts at the top left, player 2 starts at the bottom right. It feels like there's some ambient lighting going on. Perhaps it's thanks to the dungeon tile set, which is a very difficult tile set to make work. And it looks okay for the most part here. So we're going to look at player 1's perspective. His nearest green camp is going to be these 2 over here. And these 2 little fellas are going to be a total of level 6, which is reasonable enough. Dropping a level 1 power-up item. For level 6, I would probably suggest a level 1, maybe even level 2 item to be dropped, instead of just level 1. Such as a level 2, say a level 1, you could go 3 different ways. You could go level 1 permanent item, if you want to be a bit stingy. Level 2 charged item, if you want to be just ever so slightly more generous, but even still then stingy. And level 2... in fact, I would say the sentry, yeah, the power-up. The charged item is actually probably worse. But anyway, level 2 permanent item, which is a little bit generous for this creep camp. You might want to add 1 more. But anyway, you got that, and this creep camp is super close by. And one thing I have noticed is that you haven't really made the creeps, let's have a look, the acquisition range, change it to camp. That's what you need to do. So change that all to camp. However, I'm going to be playing this in the version that you have given me, just for extra spice and just to see how wrong things can go. So we're going to put these guys back. Actually no, maybe not. Certain changes do need to be kept, to be honest with you. So as long as the creeps aren't by a gold mine, it's fine. So here we go, fixing things already. Check that all onto camp. So in order to do this, you just highlight the creeps that you want to have less aggro. That basically means that the creeps are less likely to aggro. If you're nearby them... Oh, the music's super loud, is it? Okay, fair enough. I'll just whack that down. Oh, I know. That's because I have it. That is very hard to tell. I think it needs to be on like about 8%. Can I turn down the music? Yeah, I could do. Okay, here we go. We're back. Music's so loud. Right, so gold mine. There you go. Creeps. Normal aggro. That's looking at normal. 500 acquisition range. So if you build near it, you're going to piss them off. If you're near them, you're going to piss them off. So everything else is, aside from this little, yeah, no, he's still camp. Oh my goodness, that's taken out of context. Right, back on the game. So that's been fixed. Let's give that a cheeky save. Boom. Right. So we've got these 2 creep camps. You could boost up the item on that, but that's fine, them being there. They shouldn't aggro now with these, whereas before I'm pretty confident if you start fighting them, these guys would want to join in. Even then, I'm still a little skeptical of the situation. Let's have a look at the Merc camp right afterwards, because you've got to bear in mind that you want to give players a pathway towards their next goal. Are they creeping? Are they continuing their creep camp? Going from this level 6 creep camp, this green creep camp, to 29 levels of creeps is one hell of a difficulty curve. So no to that. I'm actually not going to remove any of these creeps because I think it's funny, and maybe if we do try the map out then it would just be funny, but this actually genuinely is not good. Level 2 charged item, I don't even think it matters what these guys drop, to be honest with you, but level 8 dropping a level 4 permanent item, that's pretty low, to be honest, for a level 8, but that is one of the shittier level 8s, to be honest with you. He's one of the easier ones to handle, but the whole creep camp combined with the level 8 is pretty nuts. 50% chance for Rune of Rebirth, so you could get lucky there, might not. I don't like the idea of RNG being on item drops, although I think it's fine for the categories of the items, such as a level 2 permanent item being +6 claws or +2 ring. You could get the claws, be great. You could get the ring, it's shit. That's kind of okay, but I hate the idea of RNG determining whether you get an item at all or not. No, don't have that. So let's move on to the next one. Alright, this is another green camp that's slightly past these guys, but you'd have to walk around to get to them, so you'd have to go a little bit out of your way. And there's level 9, so there you go, that's more like what I'm talking about. It's like the next stage on. And this guy is going to drop us a level 2 charged item, which is kind of okay, but that's still not super generous. But anyway, we've got another green camp, the last of the green camps for red, because you can assume that this map is symmetrical, right? So everything above this line is going to be like for red, everything below this line is going to be for blue, and it's going to be identical for blue. So we'll look at this creep camp. Level 1 permanent item on what looks like 6 levels of creeps. That's okay, we can work with that. Now we'll look at the expansion. This is the natural expansion for red, which is interesting because it's still closest to red, but it's very near to blue. In fact, that's kind of hard to tell who that's closest to. And I kind of like that because it means that it's going to be bloody difficult to expand without another player knowing about it or doing something about it. So if you need to expand as your race, you're going to have a difficult time doing it because someone's probably not going to let you get away with it. Not to mention that if you want to take this expand, you're going to have to go through that. Now, a good way to build a gold mine expansion for players is to think about it like this. Can I creep this with 1 archmage, 1 to 2 footmen, a water elemental, and 6 militia? Okay, that's just sort of like an average. Maybe you have more footmen, maybe you have less militia. Can you creep 23 levels at about level 1/2 archmage early on in the animation versus a level 6 dude with 950 health? The answer is probably no, because of these guys with possession, which is insane. You can't have that. This guy's dealing out a lot of damage at the back with searing arrows. You might be able to if you're like the best player ever, but you're going to lose basically everything. So you need to almost like remove this, remove this, remove this, and then maybe have one other creep. And even then that's still kind of powerful, right? Well, it's not that powerful because it doesn't make sense. Like, it's hard to explain, but anyway, something probably much more like this actually, I would say. That makes much more sense. But even then, that's still pretty tough. 950 health is too high. You need to have creeps that have a higher damage output, but a much lower health pool. So you can manipulate the system so a good player can still creep it and not be punished. Whereas a very good player could creep this and still be punished because he's got to go through 950 health, which is just way hard to do. But I'm just going to leave the creeps as they are. I'm not too worried about changing them. And then, of course, we've got our tavern, which is easily accessible for both players. And should blue wish to get his tavern hero, he's going to have to travel this distance, which is too short a distance, but judging by the size of the map, I think I'll allow it, because what is the size of this map? It's 52 times 52 in terms of playability. That's about as small as it gets. Yeah, imagine someone getting a tinker and coming straight into your base and putting a pocket factory in. Could be kind of rough, but never mind. We're going to go over here now to what will be the shop. A very valuable place for most players, it's particularly Blade Masters. Can he creep this level 6 Wrath or Wraith? 750 health says no, he can't. Especially with Curse applied to him. 33% chance to miss. Possession as well, so good luck creeping it with units. Rune of the Watcher, very generous of you. I mean, that is a good rune because it is a permanent sentry ward, but level 7 Physio with mana. Oh my god, the only thing he's missing is slow. Seriously, this is funny. I'm not being rude, by the way, or maybe I am coming across as rude, but I like to be honest, so take it with good humour, okay? I'm not being mean, that is just like almost the ultimate. It may as well have slow, and then it's got everything. You know, it just straight up counters pretty much anything that's coming at it. 950 health for 500 mana pool, so it's going to be using a fair few of those spells. And level 3 permanent item, which is Claws of Attack plus 9, that kind of thing. Boosts of speed. Actually, not boosts of speed. However, that makes me think, actually. Is it level 4? Where did I find that from, then? That's interesting. Oh, that's where it's wrong. Level 2 permanent. You certainly can't get the boost of speed. That shouldn't be in there. Nor can you get the Staff of Teleportation. It's these 4 items. That's where I'm getting mixed up. Okay, so yes, Claws of Attack plus 9. Pen of Energy, so good stuff, but not necessarily good enough for what this fella is doing, as well as the level 5s nearby. Anyone thinking of Ufa Party when they see these? I am. 600 and 600 health. That's a lot of health. So all of these creep camps are a nightmare to deal with, and then you've got this extra creep camp below a ramp, so you should have an advantage if you're coming at it from a ranged perspective. You could definitely manipulate those creeps quite easily. 500 health on something that can slow you quite reliably for the health pool that it currently has. Dropping a level 2 power-up item, that is nowhere near enough. That needs to be like a level 3 permanent item slash level 2 permanent item slash level 3 charged item. So permanent in terms of level 3 being the highest, permanent level 2 being the lowest, and the charged level 3 being the more accurate kind of representation of what that creep should probably drop. And then we'll do the other side, which is actually identical, so that's fair enough. I wasn't sure they're different, but they are identical on either side. So you've got 2 shops either side, 2 merc camps, no laboratory, so I'm screwed because I'm not going to be able to get a shredder. So I don't know what I'm going to even do on this map, to be honest with you, if I can't get a shredder. And then we've got this middle creek camp. So you're looking at 54 levels of creeps to get through. Now you do have the Fountain of Health to help you out, but then again so do these creeps. However, the mechanical unit should probably benefit from the Fountain of Health if I'm thinking of it correctly. Now, level 3 permanent items, that's pretty good. Level 3 permanent item. Ooh. Now I like that because there's a chance for any of these to drop. The runes of greater healing would, well, all of this restoration. What is that? Give me a second here. If I can spell. Really? You're not going to find it for me? That's because it's an item. Rune. Let's just do that, shall we? Rune of Restoration. Okay, so the Rune of Restoration looks like it's an item area mana regen, so it just restores health and mana to all units. In terms of how much it heals is dependent on the actual ability, and the ability is Rune Area Heal, Mana Regain, Rune Area Heal. So we can see that within a 250 range, or area of effect, is the 1200 range, which is pretty massive. It's healing for 300 health and 150 mana. That's like Scroll of Restoration, so it's very similar to that. Pretty darn powerful. Okay, so okay, well, I went down a rabbit hole there, but that was interesting. Death Revenant, level 9, 1500 health. And, alright, now we're talking. 25% for Crown of the Death Lord, or a 75% chance to drop nothing. Where's the Crown of the Death Lord? And how the hell am I going to find that? Again, we're just going to do it the easy way. Go to F6. I'll tell you how to do this. So F6 brings up your object editor. You want to look at items since it's an item that he drops. Then you do Control and F. And then you type in Crown of the Death Lord if that's what it was. And if not, I can't find it, then just type in Death Lord. Nope, we're not getting lucky on that one. Right. Oh no, hang on a second. I'm still looking at items, aren't I? Items, Destructibles, items. There we go. Thank you. So he drops the. Oh, the Crown of the Death Lord has abilities as well. Finger of Death. That's our command ability, which is kind of like almost an insta-give ability. I think it does like 500 damage or a lot. It gives you. Looks like life bonus, so health pool bonus, item for mana bonus as well. So it's pretty nifty. The Finger of Death is super overpowered, so that should be interesting. I'm surprised they don't actually have more items like that. You think about it, sort of like, what if there was an item that basically was like a Stormbolt? It did a certain amount of damage, and it stunned. It would be far less damage and far less of a duration on the stun than a Stormbolt, but it's a player-used item that would certainly allow the players to sort of change how they play and build their units to accommodate said item. If you have that stun, you might want to focus on more of a damage-orientated army to take advantage of the fact that you have stunned someone and can therefore do a lot of damage, whilst they can't do shit about it. But I'm getting into MOBA territory right here. So yeah, that creep camp is a nightmare, but at least you can avoid it and go this way or go down this way. And that is the map. For the tile set and the aesthetics, it's pretty good. I'll give you that. It's not perfect. It does look a little basic, but you've at least given it a little bit of character with the doodads and the rock formations. It does feel like it's a lived-in area, albeit an area I don't want to live in, but it's there for the taking if you want to grab all these creeps and then make it your own base. But there is a slight issue I do have. Potential lack of trees. You might have an issue here. I don't know if that's a deliberate thing, whether players need to venture out and get more trees from an expansion. That's potential. Otherwise, just simply open up the map a little bit more for just those few extra trees. It's not super short on trees. It's pretty good. Like, that's not terrible. That's 226. Well, actually, no, it's not, because I've highlighted way more than I'm actually supposed to. 170. You want to aim for about 140, I think. But, okay. Let's have a look. I think we are done, actually. That should be it. It is what it is. I'm going to save it. And then I am going to add this to my bot and maybe get around to playing it. But if I can't, then take care and I'll see you next time.